what we're seeing here, and right there is some of the rotation, and also right here is also some of that rotation. So it looks fairly messy at this time, and we are going to continue to see these storms traveling off to basically the southeast going forwards, heading into for the rest of tonight. Again, that tornado warning goes until 9:30 for today and does include both Cook Grayson counties as well as Sherman. Amber, any updates on this?
No update from the National Weather Service, but it is looking like that shear rate is starting to return a little bit. Honestly, it really was consistently coming and going as we saw it roll through Grayson County. And I mean, in all honesty, we were kind of thinking there was going to be a warning issued when it rolled through this area here. But since it's kind of maintained that low-level rotation, they went ahead and issued that tornado warning through 9:30. We're also going to be watching this secondary one that's not in our area. They are saying this one in Montague County has been holding its own, and it's very evident in that shear rate that we're seeing. And again, I told you, anytime we start to see in our area, at least specifically, those brighter blues, that signifies some strong shear because we're farther away. The closer to radar, we can see those other colors. I'm going to try to pull up this legend, the pinks and the purples, but I feel like the pinks and the purples are equivalent to the brighter blues for our area just because of the radar coverage.
Yeah, and I mean, if you remember when we were wall-to-wall back in November for that double EF4 twister day, we really only saw max up to about purple just because of that radar coverage. So that's something that we like to keep in mind, especially along the Red River. Any returns that start spiking up, usually it's a little stronger than what the radar has been indicating here. So you see here 2 tornado warnings. It looks like, yeah, this secondary, go zoom in real quick for me here, Amber. This is new, correct? In coming into Cook County and Grayson County?
As of, looks like pops up around 8:49, so yeah.
Okay, so we are seeing kind of some pulsing up back with this kind of the end cell there. Yeah, velocity looks a lot better too. We may have something trying to get going there on the east side of Gainesville coming into Grayson County, right? Basically along and south of 82, here is 377. So if there is something spinning up, it would be happening right there. And so far at this time, nothing confirmed. Let's pull up Jason's shot here. He there is in the middle of it. It looks.
Does not look like imminent touchdown right now. A little more just lowering. Maybe it's still a little too outflowy.
Okay, so he's at the rotation near Dorchester. We'll go back to velocity or even reflectivity again. It looks like we're starting to get more of a hook with this secondary rotation that's a little farther back. So Dorchester is going to be closer right here, and it looks like we've got 2 kind of double little areas of rotation forming basically back to back. But this one on the backside, that one has your classic radar depiction, so we are going to have to wait and see with this how this goes. But I definitely don't like how that looks because that's also matching up with our shear rate increasing. If you want to go to that real quick, Amber, we may have something on our hands here. That is upticking as well as the other one, both of these. I mean, it's now we're after sunset, so we definitely have low-level winds increasing. Y'all may want to check those 850 winds just to see what we've got coming out. I believe we'll probably have something coming out of the probably south or southwest as far as some of those winds go. Okay, we have some viewer video. Guys, let me know. Gordonville. Okay, so this is courtesy of Jody White earlier this evening. There's some lightning. You can see also the rain coming down there off in the distance. And maybe even some minor flooding, possibly in some of those lower lying areas. And also some out of Gainesville. We'll show you that too. And Yeah, that's when this was a little earlier today. This is by I-35, North I-35, looking south at these storms. Again, we've been wall to wall with these for hours now, with all of these tornado warnings. Had some darker skies, and then right there, this was earlier today. You can see how dark this main thunderstorm was. We had signs of a wall cloud. That was it right there. They're kind of at the 82-35 intersection, and great video again sent in to us from earlier from Gainesville of that wall cloud that we saw there. Do we have any more video, guys, or was that the main stuff? Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and go back to Max. We'll show you what we're seeing right now. I'm not overly excited with what I'm seeing. This storm has been pulsing up more than what we have been, with 2 areas of distinct rotation. It looks like we also have a flash flood warning. That goes till midnight for Cook and Grayson counties. I'm trying to see where these polygons overlap here.
Let's see if I can't. Okay, so I'm going to take off the... no, never mind.
I think it's pretty much most of Grayson County here, I think.
Yeah. I think the entire... Other than this really bottom sector of the county near where Lake Ray Roberts is, Tioga right now is in the clear from any severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning or area of circulation. But let's pull up radar. They're dry right now too, but likely going to be seeing some rain. You can see it all starting to kind of fill in with the other storm that's moving out of Monte County, or excuse me, Cook County into Grayson County. But Gunner is included within that tornado warning, or right on the cusp of it, more so. Van Alstyne included in that tornado warning. Tom Bean area in that tornado warning as well. This also does include TI, which includes 1417, the New Sherman High School, those areas over there. I believe the Brooks Apartments, I think Creekview Apartments also is on that area. You know, that stretch of apartments on 1417. They are all within that warning as well. And of course, 75, Howe, Dorchester. I'm going to pull up velocity here. This is looking a little bit better just south of South Maid. You can see those brighter reds coming together. I'm going to take off this warning just so I can maybe try to query some of these winds. We've been having some issues with it. Looks like at least 60 to 65 mile an hour winds with this area of potential rotation. And again, that is just south of South Maid and around the Collinsville area. That recent scan looks not as good, I don't think, but still some area of concern. And also, here's that secondary area of rotation that they're watching, which is right over TI, or where TI is going to be going.
Yeah, that's going to be South Sherman. They're basically over 75. That looks a little better than the one behind it, I would say.
I agree.
Okay, so again, this is traveling to the southeast. We haven't tracked things out for a while. Let's go ahead and put a track on this, Amber.
All right.
And continuing to see. If you are just now joining us, that tornado watch does go until 10 o'clock, but now it's only for our Texas counties. And yeah, just looking at the radar presentation, Amber, that definitely looks a little messy.
It does look messy, but you can kind of see a little bit of that inflow. It's kind of looks wonky a little bit, but I'm going to gauge the speed moving southeast at about 35 miles an hour. So these have slowed down for a moment. They were kind of picking up speed at 55 miles an hour coming out of the southeast. But let's try to put a track on this, kind of the general. I'm going to put it right kind of smack dab, kind of in the middle of this storm, because ahead of that area of rotation, we're obviously not concerned with it because it's ahead of it, but we'll time this out for downstream. Again, this is moving at about 35 miles an hour. Grayson County Speedway at 9:15. Nobody needs to be out there at this time. Bells High School area around 9:21. Savoy High School around 9:28. Ector at 9:36. Bonham around 9:45. And then Bonham State Park at 9:50. Mind you, this warning does expire in Grayson County at 9:30. That is just a heads up for Fannin County if this area of circulation kind of holds. But if it takes more of a southern track, we're going to have to maybe reevaluate that track of that potential area of rotation. But shear rate has consistently been looking good. I mean, we're Still seeing it. It might drop off a little bit, but then it picks back up. It's still there. It's never, doesn't look like it's not there at this time. Yep.
The city of Sherman has activated their outdoor sirens. So I'm sure if anybody is hearing some sirens right now, that is just to let you know that we have this storm that's still coming through here.
Yeah, so the sirens activated in downtown or in Sherman area. So if you're hearing that, yeah, and also don't rely on the that siren, because those are meant for outdoors. If you're outdoors, hopefully nobody's outside right now, because I mean, aside from any area of rotation, aside from any severe threat, we're dealing with heavy rainfall. We looked at rainfall rates a little bit earlier, and they were about 5.25 inches an hour, suggesting now, comparing that to what we've actually seen, now it's not 5 inches that we've seen, but totals are going to continue building. I'm actually going to check and make sure that our North Texas counties are updating. Might need to change.
We may need to check.
Okay, yeah. So this is the new update, which is actually lower than what was actually there, but we're going to be watching that almost now 3/4 of an inch in Medill.
Sherman at Austin College, the station there has 1.65 inches of rain for the day today.
That sounds a little more accurate.
Yeah, this is on top of the already several inches we've seen. I mean, we've been getting downpours. It seems like hit or miss as of where they are the last several days, but the ground is very saturated, so that's why we're watching that flooding concern. That flood warning for Cook and Grayson County is going to go through midnight. I'm mainly concerned with that area on 75. We all know it, the concrete barriers, the construction areas. That just builds. The water has nowhere to go. So if you can refrain from driving through that area where there's a lot of construction, I mean, even north of the Red River and Durant, we all know all that construction. So try to avoid getting on the roads if at all possible. I mean, it's definitely no need to be out on the road now when we're under that active tornado watch and severe thunderstorm watch. But it looks like these storms out west are starting to get a little bit closer now in Jefferson and Stevens County, impacting Duncan and Waurika. But the good news is the second wave, once we get through this first part, is more than likely, I say good news, but in relative to tornado potential, is going to be a damaging wind and large hail threat, which is still not good, but it's not a tornado threat. So we'll continue to watch that. Still a lot of lightning with this first round of storms, though.
Well, Amber, it looks like at least the tornado warning that was out over Montague County coming into Cook County, that has been dropped. So we're going to take that as a favorable sign. And then hopefully there's definitely still a couplet there. Grayson County coming into Fannin County. I'm hoping that as these storms continue to progress out to the east, we'll continue to see some of that rain out ahead of them starting to maybe stabilize the atmosphere a little bit. And then also, Amber, when you get time, if you see a window here where these storms are kind of settling down here to Sherman where you can get home, we're going to go ahead and send you home, and we'll have Hunter step in because we need someone to do the shows tomorrow.
Someone's got to do Good Morning Texas.
So anyways, that's going to be our plan here. When we get a window, we'll switch them out. For now, a lot of rain, a lot of lightning. You heard them talking about those totals. I am hoping the farther into tonight we get, that this rotation that we've been watching will kind of fizzle out and rain's going to take over and it's going to come a little more precip loaded and we're not worried as much about rotation, but I don't think we've quite gotten there yet. Another interesting feature just watching at this, honestly looks like both of these have kind of come in and combined, and this back storm is coming in. So that could work and maybe mess up the little mesocyclone there. For now, the heaviest rain is really right over 75, right over Sherman. If we can pull up hail tracks and see what we're looking at with that, we'll also know as far as the hail is concerned what we're seeing there. And it looks like, okay, so that is the shot that's up. We are just pitch black now that the sun is down. Okay, we'll keep watching his shot. I'm not seeing anything as far as... it's just waiting on the occasional lightning strike. But we are watching this hail size slowly starting to climb. That is $50 hail? What size hail is this?
$50 hail. right over Sherman High School and TI area.
Okay, so half-dollar size hail there right over Sherman. As a reminder, this tornado warning goes for about another 25 minutes. Have we had any updates come in from the National Weather Service specifically on this warning? I know we are concerned with the rotation. It keeps kind of pulsing up, coming back down, pulsing up, coming back down. So far, it seems like those storms are trying to combine a little bit, but I don't think we've had any word from the National Weather Service on what they're seeing.
Yeah, so, okay, they're still watching 2 areas of rotation. One is southeast of South Maid right now, but there's also reports of power lines down over Highway 56 in South Maid. So we'll continue to watch that. And then the other one is just northwest of Howe. Let me pull up velocity, maybe see if we can. So here's Howe. This right here is one of the 2. And then the other one is just south of South Maid. So let's find South Maid on here. Right here. Probably. Right here. Yeah. So these are the 2 areas. One near South Maid, which is just south of South Maid, and then one just northwest of Howe. And again, remember, these are moving east-southeast generally. So Howe, you need to be in your tornado-safe areas. Tom Bean as well, along with Dorchester.
Okay, so animate this real quick for me, Amber, because I want to see if these are, what I'm hoping happens is these kind of combine a little bit as far as maybe they'll mess each other up as far as if they, have a little bit of a collision. But that right there shows signs of increasing. It looks like we're getting some signs. Let's punch up shear rate real quick and then we can come back and query this. Looks like we're getting an increase in rotation right over South Sherman right now.
Yeah, we're starting to see those blues, and then, I mean, even a little bit south right here.
Yeah, near Dorchester.
Yeah, I think that's Range Creek Road, South May Road, Farmington Road, Old Dorchester Road, and Luella Road as well. And again, it's also showing maybe a little bit of a signs near Tom Bean High School. I think that's a little bit farther ahead, but a sign of what could potentially be moving closer into the area.
Yeah, let's punch up velocity again for me.
Well, is there a third? Huh.
That's what I'm trying to see. Do we have 3 areas?
It looks like they're, I'm going to put
Or are these trying to combine into one? It's really messy.
It is.
See what these winds are, because we definitely have some rotation here coming over Sherman, and I'm concerned about what's going on with this. Nothing has been confirmed touching down, but yeah, we're going to have to see with this. Okay, what is the National Weather Service saying there about that tornado warning, Hunter?
They're going to be removing Cook County from the tornado warning, so I imagine just trimming it back to keep up with this.
Okay, so at least in Cook County, we're hopefully seeing that tornado threat diminishing a little short term. And then in Grayson County, 72 mile per hour winds. I would say 70 to 75 mile per hour winds are a fair bet with this. Did we find out how much CAPE was left over in North Texas?
I looked about 5-10 minutes ago, and it was still about 3,000 to 5,000, which is still pretty
that's
healthy.
pretty substantial.
I don't know if that's changed since.
It's the same, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a bit to go before these storms are really going to be winding on down here, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that we would see them dropping off, but it looks like we have 60 to 80 mile per hour winds that's coming into Sherman right now. This would also, if you're kind of tracking this ahead of it, Tom Bean, those wind speeds would also be coming in, and then Whitewright will also be seeing some of these stronger winds. But at some point, we're going to know what they're doing with this tornado warning. It looks like they at least trimmed that back out of Cook County now, but at least for Grayson County, that main rotation is going to be enough kind of ahead of this on the leading edge of that warning polygon that we will not have to wait until 9:30 before we know what they're going to do with this. They will have to make a decision going 9:16 Whitewright High School at 9 22, 922 also. Yeah, we're kind of double dipping there with Whitewright High School, but we know it'll arrive at that time, and then I don't know if that's Eli or Ellie, but that would be about 9:30. Then we're seeing that arrive there, ELY, and yeah, definitely getting at least
and maybe a little bit more close together with those two areas. But definitely some strong winds because we're still seeing those bright colors. Looks like power.
Part of the tornado watch, mainly removing
now east of 75. That matches well with this. I think we're seeing this rotation increasing. They're probably going to have to reissue another tornado warning. With this through, okay, this would likely include Tom Bean High School. Yet again, I was hoping this would calm down a little, but it doesn't look like that is going to be the case. We are really seeing some pretty consistent signs with these shear markers as these storms are rolling to the south and the southeast today. So could be on the verge of another pulse up here. And even back behind this, I mean, this right here doesn't look good either. I mean, I don't like what I'm seeing with this at all.
Yeah, we're definitely starting to see kind of more of that inflow with that hook with this.
It's going to be that main area of rotation. We may have this second secondary one back over 289 in Dorchester. This is probably one of the bigger shear markers we've seen even back through here. So this is very consistent and likely at least some strong winds, 80-mile-per-hour winds coming through with this severe thunderstorm. So if they don't issue a tornado warning, they're
rotation. So, I also wanted to update that tornado watch. They did extend it for our North Texas counties. So we have not been cleared, and they have extended it till
all of these thunderstorms so far coming on through, and it looks like even south of us, that tornado watch that they went ahead and extended for the time. This is going to include Dallas County. Collin County will not include Tarrant, but does include Denton County. So we are seeing a bulk of the DFW Metroplex also be included in that extension for the tornado watch. So I think if these storms keep moving southeast, we'll see them moving possibly out of some of our counties, but I don't think that's going to be anytime soon just yet. And yeah, this is what it looks like, big picture. We've got another round that's going to be quickly approaching in Oklahoma, likely becoming severe, and then also this in Oklahoma City, and going forwards will probably hit more Ada to McAllister and Atoka. So 2 separate areas we're working with, but right now it's along the Red River that has the tornado potential for these Texas counties. Amber, any updates?
They haven't provided any updates on this tornado warning, but they are going to monitor. They're monitoring a rotation in far southeastern Montague County. The main threat as it enters Cook County is going to be winds upwards of 60 miles an hour. So hopefully that area of rotation doesn't look any better as it moves in towards Cook County. Let's see if we can see what they're referring to. It looks like maybe right here, this area out of Montague into Cook. So we'll watch that. It is moving, looks like farther southeast. But again, this active tornado warning for Grayson County, which does include South Sherman and also includes Howe, Dorchester. It looks like it's right over TI, or just moving right over 75 over TI and heading towards Tom Bean High School. Just some roads here. Luella Road, Highway 11, I don't know if that's Interstate 11, FM 697, and this is going to continue likely if they downstream it into Fannin County. So heads up, Fannin County. Yeah, this is more than likely, if it continues to hold, is going to be at the very least bringing in some strong winds. We can see those brighter colors coming together, but I mean, that looks like a large area of rotation right there.
Yeah, I would say at this point it's probably trending more towards maybe just the one.
Yeah.
There may be a smaller area just to the west of Dorchester, but I'm kind of thinking that some of the other areas that we were concerned about fizzled a little bit, and Amber's circling this main area now. This is the best organization we have seen for today, I would say, just in terms of what the velocity has looked like. And we are getting a little bit of a northward surge there with some of the turning with this one. Anything notable with that sounding, Hunter?
Nothing much. Just a lot of Kate. Over nearly 5,500.
Oh.
Yeah, that's DFW.
Okay, so let's go ahead and punch up a video we are getting in here. Oh, picture. Sorry, my bad. Whitesboro. This is hail in Whitesboro. Likely at least $half size. Probably close to, I would say, maybe golf ball size, too. Again, this is what moved through Whitesboro with that main core, with the hail that we have been talking about. So we now have confirmation with this large hail coming in there in Grayson County. Let's go back to shear rate, because I'm seeing something on here I have not seen.
Ooh, yeah.
This has really ramped up, and I don't know how delayed this is. I don't know if this was when that main area of rotation was over, but we are seeing, I mean, we possibly may have had a spin up here, but we're getting a high return value as far as the rotation goes.
Yeah, which is pretty impressive for the radar coverage that we have in our area. So yeah, that, again, I'm not sure if that was current or a little bit delayed, but best area of rotation, again, we've seen just north of Loftus Road, just barely west of Farmington Road, and that is just west of Howe. So Howe, this easily could be right overhead at this very moment.
Yeah, do me a favor, punch up velocity again. I'm trying to see my oh, that's it right there. That's spinning up.
Oh yeah, we're seeing those blues.
Pull up the debris tracker. We may have something there.
It's hard to tell.
Nothing overly obvious. Okay, we're going to need to watch this. Go back to velocity. We may have something spinning up right now. This velocity has really spiked. This is going to be coming into Howe. This is 75. Again, this is TI. So this is going to be that area basically between Van Alstyne and TI, right along 75. We're getting radar estimates of at least 90-mile-per-hour winds. So if this is not a possible tornado making contact with the ground, we have... Oh, yeah, winds to 100 plus here. Okay, so this is going to be coming straight into Howe. Hey, let's punch up Jason's shot here and see if he has anything. Do we still have him on the phone, guys?
I'm here.
Hey, Jason, we just got radar estimates of at least 100-mile-per-hour winds there just to the east of Dorchester. What are you seeing where you're seeing right now, and where are you?
Yeah, I'm just south of Howe, north of Van Alstyne, right off of US 75. We experienced high winds. I don't have an estimate about 10 minutes ago in Dorchester. We are now facing west, and we're looking right at this area of rotation, which is just west of Howe, and you can't really see anything yet. We're kind of in low visibility area, but yeah, the winds are very strong in that core, and we've got a lot of lightning, an area of perhaps lowering trying to form just on the west side of Howe.
And have you noticed anything in contact with the ground yet?
No, I haven't noticed anything in contact with the ground.
All right, thanks, Jason. Keep us updated. He is watching that area of rotation that we are concerned about with, again, radar estimates of at least 100-mile-per-hour winds. You saw that shear rate marker really spiked with that main cell coming through, and we are now past sunset, so everything is dark outside of lightning, and we'll camp out on this and see if we get some more lightning. I'll point out we do have some areas that look like they are a little bit of a lowering looking out of his shot. Again, we're at the culprit here of the lightning strikes, but you'll see it's going to be through here where I'm pointing that we are watching the potential for maybe a lowering there. More than likely is my guess from what we've seen on velocity. We have something trying to form there in the
About to consume US 75 from Howe to just north of Van Alstyne. So just got a couple minutes left before this comes crashing in from the west. Cylindrical looking lowerings, but there is like a tail cloud feeding in underneath of the base, and just kind of a ragged looking base underneath where could be some little bit of a lowering, but nothing super confined cylindrical yet.
All right, thanks so much, Jason. Keep me updated on that. We're going to continue watching this storm very closely. If we want to go back to radar here, I'll show you velocity. Amber's been querying this. This is the big spike that's going to be crossing 75, like you just heard him say. These winds going to be rushing from west to east more than likely, but also looks like they've made a slight turn south. So at some point, that main core may be trending a little farther closer towards Anna and Westminster, depending on if it dives due south, like we've seen with some of them. Once they occlude, they kind of quickly move south. If that happens, we may see some of the tornado potential dropping off a little on Grayson County, but right now that has not been the case. And again, this is right on 75 between Howe and Van Alstyne, and then Gunner is going to be over here, and Amber's adding those polygons back on at this time. How high were some of those wind speeds, Amber, when you were querying them? What did you see?
They were upwards of about 80 miles an hour. So, I mean, it's trending a little bit lower than what it was at 101, but I think that easily could still be at either 80 to 90 miles an hour. Mile an hour winds with this storm that's going to be moving over 75 here in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, those winds, even if it's not tornadic, that's going to be causing problems.
Right, yeah. Some of these, I mean, I was saying a bit earlier today that, you know, EF0 tornado wind speeds, I mean, 80, 90 mile an hour, that's stronger than an EF0. So it's still nothing to take lightly, even if it is just straight line winds.
Okay, so this is the area we're monitoring. You see that
South Grayson County, southern Grayson County, northern Collin County very shortly.
Okay, and let's pause this because right here we are seeing this is going to be the inflow right there. We are getting winds getting pulled into this storm because that's the area of rotation, and then you see this inflow notch right here, and this is going to be turning right there. So we know we have another tornado warning that's going to be coming out here for Grayson and likely northern Collin County. We'll see what exact direction this takes because it may clip some of Fannin County depending on how this goes exactly. And so we'll wait and see on that one to watch kind of how this is trending. Let's punch up shear rate real quick because this has been very consistent. We are getting all kinds of rotation here right over 75.
Yeah, which does include the TI area, Howe, Dorchester, even far out from that tornado warning, which again, just it's a good sign that they are going to reissue that tornado warning downstream, which will likely include Fannin County. Trenton High School area, Leonard High School area, because this is, well, let me look at velocity here. It is moving east. Well, now it looks to be moving a little bit more southeast, maybe here.
It looks like we have multiple areas of rotation with this. I'm thinking there may actually be two that we had one and then it kind of split, and there's this one on the east side there of 75, and then the one I'm most concerned about is going to be a little farther to the south and the southwest of that, and so likely seeing kind of two areas of rotation really spiking now with this thunderstorm. So that new warning should be out here any minute. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so this does include Fannin County now, also